Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Typically I do MLB, Madden, different video games here, but I want to try my hand at something new this year. I want to go ahead and try my best at predicting where everybody in the MLB is going to end up. I'm going to touch back on this probably at the All-Star break, and then at the end of the season we will go back over it and see how I actually did. I want to apologize for my voice. I am just getting over the flu, so kind of raspy a little bit here and there. Without further ado, we're going to jump in. I'm going to make 7 videos. I'm going to go through 6 of them, each of the standings. And then the 7th one, I'll do my way too early playoff predictions. And like I said, yeah, at the All-Star break, we will see where we're at. And then at the end of the year, we'll come back and we'll view everything. So we'll go ahead and jump in here, and we are going to start with the American League East. Alright, hopefully I did that in a color that you guys can see pretty well. Shows up here good. And a little bit of a bright pink. So, yes, Baltimore Orioles, I do have them coming in dead last in their division. One of the worst records at 55-107. And they didn't do anything this offseason. They got rid of Jonathan Villar. But they didn't add anybody. I mean, they did here and there, but nobody that I think is really going to put them over the top or make them do any better than last year. I think they got a couple people in the farm system that might come up in the next couple of years. So maybe that's what they're just holding off, trying to push back and trying to rebuild for the next extra couple of years. And sitting at number 4, I do have Boston. I know a lot of people do have them still in that 2 spot. Or well, the 3 spot, and some people even have them in the 2 spot. But I don't see it. They were falling off last year. They did come back, and they did re-sign Benintendi and Mitch Moreland. So they do have some guys coming back. They're a really good team. I mean, they won the World Series 2 years ago. They did cheat, but they still won it. So they're not terrible, but they did get rid of their best player and then one of their better pitchers. So no Sale this year, no Mookie Betts, who are both in LA. Should be interesting for the Dodgers this year. For the Red Sox, I just don't see them being that strong. I do see them losing a lot of games that they could have won had they had a bigger bat or Sale on their team. So I think those guys just take away a lot from them. And Boston, they let me down a lot last year. So I just don't see them doing a whole lot this year either. More of trying to rebuild, pretty much. The Blue Jays we got here coming in 3rd in the division, and for the next couple of years I got them right at 3-2. I think they're a very young team. I think they're a really good team with a lot of potential. A couple of big signings could put them into that 1 spot, but I think for probably this year and next year at least they'll be in that 3 area. Maybe into the 2, and if they can get lucky one of the years, they might actually grab a wild card spot. I did like what they did. They signed Ken Giles and Matt Shoemaker in the bullpen. They also got Ryu from the Dodgers. They got him on a 4-year contract, and also Tanner Roark in the bullpen. So they made a couple of good moves here and there. But they're really young, and they got a lot of good players that are very young. So in that division, I don't know if it's going to be enough to actually win it. That's why I got them in there in 3rd. Just the Yankees and Tampa Bay are very good ball clubs right now, so it'll be hard for them to get out of that 3rd spot. But I think, and then after 2 years, they will be doing a lot better. Alright, and in 2nd place we have Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They surprised me last year. I knew they were going to be good, but I didn't really think they were going to be that good. They came in very strong. Glasnow was amazing. He did get hurt, so that did kill him a little bit there. Tommy Pham was good for him. They did trade him away, but they got Hunter Renfroe. So I think Pham's probably the better of the 2, but I kind of consider him right there in the same area. So I don't think it really hurt them to get rid of him and instead got Hunter Renfroe. I still think they're going to be a very good team this year, and I do expect them to come in 2nd. The Yankees will I believe they'll be first. they're just going to be a hard team to beat. So, but the Rays, nothing against them. They're good. I think last year they dealt with some injuries here and there, and that still put them into second. Hopefully this year they don't have as many injuries, but I still just don't think they'll be in that one spot. Not sure yet if they will grab that wild card spot or if they will barely miss the playoffs there with 89 wins. I mean, that's a lot of wins. It's gonna some divisions that wins it. But in the American League, there are a lot of good teams, so I just don't know if it puts them in there at high enough. The Yankees won their division last year, and I expect them to win it again this year. Not because I don't think anybody else there could. Obviously, I think Tampa Bay could win there if the Yankees had a 10 or 15 game where they just kept losing, where they lose 9-10 or 13-15, something like that. If they keep a big losing streak, I could see Tampa Bay sneaking up and winning that division. But let's face it, the Yankees were good last year and they were injured. This year they're coming back healthy. Judge was hurt last year. Stanton was hurt pretty much all of last year. They had a couple pitchers on the IR that never came in. Their whole team was hurt. DJ LeMahieu stepped up and he was huge. They got a lot of young kids that had to step up last year, and they did it. So I expect those young kids to turn around and do it again this year. I expect Judge to have a huge year. I think with a lot of this stuff coming out with the Astros, I think some of these bigger ball players are going to go off, and I think Judge is one of them. I think he's probably going to be pretty upset, and he's going to have himself one hell of a year. So I expect Judge to do well, the Yankees, and then on top of that, they signed Garrett Cole. I mean, come on, he's got to be, if not the best, one of the best pitchers in the league. I have him as the number one pitcher in the league. So he's going to get you 20, 25 of those wins by himself. And, man, their starting lineup is just so good. It's going to be hard for him to lose. And then Chapman in the pen, they just don't lose a whole lot of games like that. They're solid all the way around. I mean, hell, some of the guys they have in the minor leagues are good enough to play up, but they just don't have the roster spots. They got Brett Gardner back for one more year. I think they re-signed Betances 1 or 2 more years. I think it was. Sorry, not Betances. They re-signed Chapman. So they're going to be a solid team. I definitely see them over the 100 mark. I can't remember what they were at last year, but I definitely think 104, 105 is going to be the area that they end up in. Like I said, unless they did, something happens, they get some bigger injuries, some of these younger kids get hurt, and they slide down and lose 8 of 10, 9 of 10, something like that crazy happens. I think the Yankees are going to go in there, and they'll probably even end up with the 1 seed in the American League. There you have the American League East, and how I think that's going to shape out. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it, so hopefully I'm kind of close. Hopefully I'm not just way off, but let me know what you think. If you think I'm close, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm a moron and I'm just not even going to be anywhere close with any of these teams, blast me in the comments. Let me know. Throw at me at Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, whatever you got. Just let me know. But if you would, hit that sub button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And like I said, just drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you guys. If you play MLB The Show, if you play Madden, 2K, any of that, make sure to stick around. You can also find me on Twitch. Like I said, I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me on any of those social networks. And if you would, come check me out. Hit that follow button on any of them.